Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bora Overseas episode 4. Um, I think everybody's first question they might have today, if you guys are watching this on YouTube or you're watching the video on Spotify, you might be wondering, Adria, today is just you. And yes, turns out the answer to that question is yes, today is just going to be me. And that actually might be the case for the coming few episodes as well. Boss is okay, he's fine, he's totally okay, and he has not left the podcast yet. And I think he won't. But he's got a couple of family commitments back home, and he's telling me like, Adria, you need to continue our mission. We need to continue sharing stories about Malaysians who have been through different parts of the world. So you go ahead and then you hold my place for me lah. So I was like, okay, I'm the very nice person. I reserve the seat, right? Just kidding. But yes, while boss is gone, while we're waiting for you to come back, we should totally be having lots of fun together as well, right? So before I thought we start doing a session with our guests for today, right? I was thinking that we should do some reflection about like what we learned so far, right, from some of the couple of guests that we've brought in. And personally, I really enjoy doing Bora Overseas and I enjoy it more than I thought I would actually. Is that talking to different people really opens your mind, right? Sometimes we just go through life ticking off all those check boxes, and we never really sit down and think about what people have told us or what we think about what people have said. And I really got this chance right now. Not that I'm a student, although I'm also very busy as a student. I've got a lot of work to do and everything, right? But the amount of time I get to like talk to people, sit down and reflect is like it's like way more than I did when I was working. And there's I just want to share like two things that I think stood out to me, right? And maybe it stood out to you as well, listeners. Feel free to drop in some comments in YouTube or on like Spotify if you have any thoughts about what I've shared, or you have any thoughts about our past episodes, right? One thing I realized very interestingly is that a lot of decisions about going overseas, right, is highly influenced by the people around us, especially our parents or our teachers, right? It's crazy when you think about it, right? Like people that you surround yourself with really affects your career, your personal life, how you think. It's kind of crazy, right? Like how much people around us can have an effect on us, right? And that really makes me think like at my current stage right now, right, is who are the kind of people that I really want to surround myself with, right, to further motivate and push me forward, right? And also sometimes there's also this thought that comes to me that some of us are maybe put in environments or without, which is not up to us, right? We end up in environments that maybe are not as as conducive for us, right? But there's always ways for us to like kind of almost like find our way through, right? Even if it doesn't happen right now because my environment isn't really really supporting me to do that. But if you're somebody who perseveres, who keeps that hope alive, right, someday you're gonna meet somebody, go to a place, work somewhere that's gonna push you to the place that you want to be, right? So that's something that I realized, talking to our guests and also reflecting upon my life as well. The second thing I realized is that Malaysians are really ons. Wherever we go, no matter what country, right, Malaysians are always so ons to like come together and celebrate and help each other out. And I'm pretty sure there are other citizens or other countries, they are ons as well, but I swear though, like from my very brief experience so far being overseas, US, UK, we are just another level. Okay, we are just like so proud to be Malaysian, right? We raise the flag higher when we are overseas, like than we do back home. But anyways, we're also super helpful people, like wherever you go, you just look for one Malaysian, they're more than happy seriously to help you out. And they're more than happy to cook for you, more than happy to bring to do all these gatherings and whatnot, right? Like we are seriously the most very community driven type of like international people overseas. And we are not so like we are not so like too like how to say like competitive against each other, I've got a KPI against you and that. But when we're overseas, we tend to put that aside quite easily. And not every country is like that in my experience so far. Some countries that I don't want to name drop, but they start with an S, maybe, tend to are definitely like us. They're not as on as us, and I'm really really proud of that lah. Like super. Wherever I go, right, I can always like count on looking for Malaysians to like, hey, help me out, find this place, find that place, recommend me this, recommend me that. So yeah. And for this episode, we're gonna bring in a guest who's been to a place that I feel like not a lot of Malaysians have been to. Like Malaysians, we always love to go to US, UK, Australia, Singapore. But this friend of mine, actually, he's a friend of mine, and also Mohan's as well. He's been to a place that a lot of Malaysians have never been to, and I thought bringing him onto the podcast is going to shed some light on the work culture, the lifestyle, the Malaysian community in this particular country. So let's begin. Let's go.
I was telling you guys that today I wanted to bring in a guest that went to a place that I've never been to. That is the Middle East, right? And I actually met him like in London, and it's crazy how it's actually been 6 months since we met, right? Like, it's crazy. But our guest name today is like Khairul, and we actually also have something in common that we all really enjoy, right? And our favorite podcast in Malaysia is called
Keluar sekejap.
A bit, the reason why Mohan and myself even started this, I mean, at least for me, I don't know about Mohan, maybe he didn't watch Keluar Sekejap, but I got into this also because I started listening to Keluar Sekejap, and you and I, we also like, we discuss a lot about Keluar Sekejap from time to time and everything, right?
Yeah.
So, KJ and Sharil, you guys are doing a great job name dropping them just in case they watch it, which the percentage is probably very low. They probably would never watch it. Who knows? Anyway,
Who knows, yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. Without further ado, Khairul, why don't you tell us like a little bit about yourself? Like where are you from? What do you do now? And we all know you're in London, but yeah, what do you do now?
Yeah.
Where are you from, Malaysia?
Hi everyone, my name is Khairul. Currently I'm working as a construction dispute delay analysis. Like it's more like analyst doing delay analysis. So basically we provide independent expert report to the tribunal. So let's say if you have a construction project, there is a delay and then there's a dispute between the client and the contractor. So the lawyer will hire us to provide an independent expert report, and then we provide to the tribunal, and then we are being cross-examined by the opposing lawyers. So we have to prepare a report and then defend our report in the arbitration or litigation or similar kind of like avenue for disputes.
Right.
So previously, I was working as a site engineer. Oh, let me go back further. Let me go back further.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was studying high school in. I was going to boarding school in Kedah.
Kedah. So you're from Kedah.
I'm from KL. So I did my Form 1 to Form 3 in KL, normal high school, SMK Raja Ali. And then Form 4, I went to boarding school in Kedah. So I don't know why.
Kedah.
It's just up north from KL.
Okay. So are you KL or do you consider yourself KL or from Kedah?
I consider myself from KL. So I was born in KL. I was grow up in KL. It's just I got the boarding school because for boarding school you apply, right, and then they give you.
Oh yeah, anywhere. Right. Okay, yeah.
So I was sent to Kedah. So Citra, my school name is Sekolah Menengah Sultan Abdul Halim Samsa. So after SPM, I joined UTP straight away. So we finished SPM December, and then I go to do my foundation, and then result came out. So I was like, should I consider going overseas at that time? But then I already started at UTP for like 1 semester for foundation. And I was like, okay, I'll just carry on and then probably do my masters afterwards. So upon graduation from UTP, similar like everyone, I was applying for jobs here and there. So suddenly I went for an interview for a contractor company in Malaysia.
Okay.
We have like 50 people interviewing. A lot of it is just my colleagues from back in the uni, and then
Okay.
I was picked up and then sent straight away to Doha. So that's how I
Oh,
went.
okay.
That's how I ended up in Doha straight away after graduation. So at
Oh, okay.
24, I think 24, I was in Doha, uh, fresh grad, or in the desert, roaming around as a side
In the
engineer.
desert?
Yeah. So the first day that I reached to Doha is the
Mm-hmm.
first day of Ramadan, and it's summertime.
Oh, you went there during Ramadan.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. That
yeah,
must be tough. Okay. All right. Continue. No
this
worries.
stuff. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
how. So I went to Doha and I spent 2.5 years there.
Mm-hmm.
COVID happens, right? So I was like, oh, what I'm gonna do? The project is gonna finish. So
Mm.
I start to search for master's courses and then landed a scholarship where
Mm-hmm.
I got a placement in UCL doing construction
Mm-hmm.
economics and management. So
Mm-hmm.
went to UCL, finished my masters, and then I couldn't really find it. I couldn't find a job straight away. So I went
Mm-hmm.
back to Doha for like eight
Oh,
months. Yeah, I went back
okay.
to
Oh,
Doha
you
for like
went
eight
back
months.
again.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. You didn't. You never told me that. But okay,
because it's
continue. Yeah.
too complicated, no? Like I go back and forth like from Doha to the UK. So
Okay.
because I couldn't find a job, and then suddenly my previous company still want people to finish up the project. Apparently, there's some
Mm-hmm.
issues, so they called me back. I went there for 8 months, and then
Mm-hmm.
landed a job in the UK in the consulting firm that I'm working right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an overview of how I landed up now
Yeah.
in London. So
And you got promoted recently, right?
yeah, alhamdulillah, yeah.
It was definitely, we must call that out, like that's a huge achievement. So
Thank you.
just curious, right? So you kind of studied like engineering, sort of, right?
Yes,
You
yes. So
civil engineering,
yeah,
maybe
my
in.
background is civil engineering in I
Mm-hmm.
did it in UTP, University
Mm-hmm.
Technology Petronas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just like you were saying, like you were deciding between like whether to go overseas or not, right? And
Mm,
you decided not to because like
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, because at that time I was thinking I've already started foundation, right? For like
Mm,
3 months, I think, 3, 4 months. And I was
mm-hmm.
thinking if I do my undergrad in UTP, I will grad much more earlier if I went to the overseas. If I went to the overseas, I will finish my undergrad probably 1 year or 2 years later. Because
Oh,
it's like
okay.
in at that time UTP intake they kind of pick us based on our trial result. So
Oh,
January I
okay.
can start like UTP already. So just 5 years from that. So I can finish.
Oh,
So my colleagues that went overseas, they finished 1 year later than me. So
okay.
when they finish their undergrad, I've already
Mm-hmm.
like have 1 years of working experience. So
Okay.
that's what I'm thinking at that time. Like so, I'm just doing my calculation there. Okay, that sounds not too
Oh,
bad. So I was like, but I still have to do my masters overseas. Kind of at that time, still have the idea.
okay.
I have to
Okay,
go.
you were set on doing masters overseas, right? So
Yeah,
you kind of still have that intention to like
yeah,
go overseas, but like you were thinking like maybe you'll graduate faster, go to the workforce faster. Okay,
yeah.
okay. Did that company that you work for, were they based in Malaysia and they decided to send you overseas, or was this a company that was like, just curious, like,
Yeah, there is a company from Malaysia. It's called Mohiba Engineering. So
oh,
they are
okay,
based in Kelang. So they are big one of the big construction company in Malaysia. Is a listed company.
oh, okay,
So yeah, I think they want to bring in new talent that can do the work. That they
mm-hmm,
can groom in a way. So
mm-hmm,
that's how they kind of interview. I think 50 people. Not
okay,
too much, I think, as compared to
mm-hmm,
any other firm. But
okay,
yeah, that's
but you
how I
made it, but
yeah.
you made the cut. I think
Yeah.
the project's in like Doha, is it? That's why they sent you
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. And how long were you in Doha during that period before you started your masters? Like, were you there for like a couple of
So
years or
I was there like uh, not really sure the duration though. I mean 2 years like before I did my
two
masters. I think.
years?
Yeah, 2 years. 2 years.
2 years is a long
Give or
time.
take. Yeah.
Okay.
Give or take.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm working 6 days a week, all day.
6 days a week.
Yeah,
Okay.
the company give me like I mean the company give me accommodation, transportation, everything. Just go to the site, work, and then go back to
Mm-hmm.
the accommodation. We live in the villa, which with
Mm-hmm.
all the colleagues, with all the friends. So the people that I see on site is the people that I see at home as well.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. Okay. So they get so you guys are all like site engineers right now
yeah,
because like your current career you're more like a consultant. But
yeah.
then back then you were like literally
Literally,
engineer on the ground, right?
yeah,
Okay, junior engineer. Okay.
on the
Okay.
side, screaming, hunting
Okay.
people.
I do even okay. How was like I really wanna like get to know a little bit about you those 2 years that you spent in like Doha, right? Like
Yeah.
just now you said a lot of that because like okay, like demystify my myth, right? Because I've never been to the Middle East. And I
Mm,
always think that the Middle East is full of desert. That's one thing. Okay. Maybe there are deserts, but maybe not everywhere. Okay, there are full of deserts. Second is like the biggest industry there is oil and gas,
yeah,
because that's all I know. And then the third one is like that's a place with like a lot of rich people
yeah.
go to. So can you help me demystify them? Am I right or am I just like that's not true, like it's not all like that?
I
Uh
mean, for Doha, so to give a context, the country is about 3 million people. The
mm-hmm.
the locals or like the Qataris is just 10% of the whole population of the country, and
Mm,
their economy mainly based on gas. So they have the
mm,
highest
that's
gas
true.
in the world. With that,
Mm-hmm.
Qatar is not that big, but they have
Mm-hmm.
the biggest, largest gas reserve in the world. So
Mm-hmm.
they kind of give you a certain idea of how wealthy they are. I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
you compare a
Okay.
city, let's say compare Doha and KL, I
Mm,
think that KL is much more bigger because we have a lot more people. And,
okay. Yeah.
and yeah, so Doha, there's a lot of things to do, but it is, let's, mm, there's a lot of things to do rather than just going to the malls. And
Okay.
but I think
So what?
when I spend my time there, there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things to do. But at the same time, I was just working 6 days a week, so it's kind of
Mm,
tough for me to go out every time, every weekend. Every weekend is just like going to the mall and then just buying some groceries. I didn't enjoy
mm-hmm.
my time properly there because I was like
Mm-hmm.
project based. If you are in the
Right.
project base, everything is kind of intense.
Mm-hmm.
You need to just work there, like finishing up the project basically, because we
Mm-hmm.
are that project kind of like delayed as well. So we're
Mm-hmm.
catching
Mm-hmm.
up with the deadlines and stuff. So, but I was what you saying just now.
Desert.
The desert. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean not desert. Yeah. At my project site, it is a
Mm-hmm.
desert. It is a desert,
Okay.
but but
Is
there's a
it
lot more things
deserts?
to. There's a lot more
Mm-hmm.
things to do, and there's a desert tourism as well. But
Mm.
mm, in overall, I think it's a fun place to be. It's a
Mm-hmm.
fun place to be. Yeah.
In recent years, I think, is it just like I'm just curious because you said that oil and gas is a huge thing, but then
Yeah.
you're in construction, right?
Yeah.
So do you think construction is it's huge there as well? That's the reason why you got posted
Um.
to Doha, or
So
nothing ever beats oil and gas in the Middle East.
I mean, construction we kind of do oil and gas as well. You want to do
Mm,
like piping, the new greenfield power plant or anything is part of construction project as well. We kind of bid few projects there as well, but we didn't get any oil and gas project. But yeah,
mm,
so the project that I do kind of related with the oil and gas as well. So we do the sport
mm-hmm,
infrastructure where ships and boats or large ships want to do maintenance. So we
mm,
built this kind of like ship lift system which bring
mm,
the ships from the sea up to the ground level
okay.
to do maintenance to do and stuff. But in
Mm,
overall, I don't think like oil and gas industry gonna be defeated in a way.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oil and gas
Okay.
are like huge, huge. But a, a large portion of the oil and gas project are construction as well. As
Mm.
I'm saying, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm,
What about like the lifestyle there, right? Because I know you were like very busy, like working and everything,
yeah,
right? Like that makes
yeah,
a lot of sense. All of us, like when we first start working in foreign country, all we do is work, lah, right?
yeah.
But what about like in terms of like, I'm pretty sure you still took some time off to like look around and go around and have fun, right? So, uh, is it just malls, or what do people in the Middle East normally spend their time doing? Um,
I think we just because it like Malaysian community, we just go
mm,
for like eat like in nasi Arab,
mm-hmm.
having chai or just sit by the beach. Like,
The
like
beach.
the culture are like a bit chill. So there's a holiday villa there in
Mhm,
Doha. So we always go with friends and then go to holiday villa and then have some teh tarik there. I think it's more like chill there rather than like there's so many things to do. It's just spending your time with friends.
mhm,
Like
mhm,
go to any restaurants or anything, have a coffee,
mm.
have nasi Arab, good one, like a big lamb there. So
Nice, nice. So it's always this kind of like, like not it's always like going out to just like eat at coffee shops. If
yeah,
not, it's gonna be shopping malls or the beach kind of.
mm, yeah.
Is there any like outdoor
Oh
activities?
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
what is the famous thing that they do in Doha is how to call it in English? Like
You can say
crabs.
VM also, don't worry.
Yeah, like catching the crabs. There's a season
Oh,
where you can catch a crab, and then they catch.
crabs.
Yeah, they just go to the like the shores and then just
Ah,
pick up the crabs and then put it in the basket so you can get like a few good basket, like imagine like very very much. I mean in Malaysia
ah.
we couldn't imagine like you eating crabs, like eating crab for like baskets of crabs.
Yeah. Oh wow. So you can just is the crab free? If you go to the beach, you catch a crab, that is yours. You don't have to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
pay
but
somebody to catch a crab.
there's a
Okay.
season for that. There's a season for that. Yeah,
Oh,
there's only specific season that you can go and do that. So
okay.
if you do it outside of the season, you will get caught. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
yeah,
But
like
there are crabs all year round, right? It's just that there's a season where you can catch them,
I
and
think
then
so. I
others
think
did.
so. Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Did you go and catch those crabs?
I didn't.
Okay. Like you can
I,
watch other people catch crabs. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I just
Yeah.
when people catch it, I just eat it. So I'm the part who just eat it.
Okay, okay. What about in terms of like work-life balance, right? How are people's like work culture there? Do they work very intensely, or are they more like balance and chill, like we're more like Western culture or
In
something
the
in
Middle
between?
East.
Yeah, in
So
general.
funny thing is, even though I'm working in Middle East, so the
Uh-huh.
company are still Malaysian based. So I think we are working in like Malaysian style of culture instead of
Okay.
like Middle East. I'm not really sure how Middle East companies work, but I guess it's kind of the same.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
I'm
But
working
you're
is like similar to like Malaysian. We are just being banged by the
hmm,
bosses because we have deadline to catch. It's just that
right.
it becoming too kind of like intense because they kind of bring everyone from Malaysia so that we can
Mm,
finish the project.
mm.
So it's a bit intense in that sense. Yeah.
But your client is Middle East, is Doha.
Yeah.
Your client is the guy from Doha and
Yep.
whatnot, right? Okay,
Yep.
okay. Was he like? Did they work like us as well, like your clients, or were they more like? Is
So
there anything different about them in the way they
the
work, at least?
the client are like overseas people as well. So
Hmm.
most of the
Oh,
engineers are from Philippines, from India, from Pakistan, from
okay.
Greece, all over the world. So
Hmm.
it's but the working culture there are not like in the UK per se. It's just
Hmm.
I mean maybe because it's just construction site, everyone's
Hmm.
just intense, just want to finish the project. So
Hmm.
not much of a work life balance I believe in the construction project.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think because I was there as a fresh grad as well. So
Okay.
my thinking at
Hmm.
the time is just like I want to be a sponge, just grab everything and then uh,
Hmm.
take it as an experience, even though it's kind of hard sometimes. I mean, you're far away
Hmm.
from your family, you get banged by your boss
Hmm.
every day. Like you wake up at 6 a.m., take the bus, go
Mm.
to the site, and then the
Wow.
first thing you gotta call like, have you done this? Have you done that? So
Mm.
yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
intense, but I think it's a good experience. I mean, it's just how you take it. No, some people take it
Mm.
negatively, some people take it positively. So
Mm-hmm.
I just take it as a, yeah, this is, I have to do my time as a junior.
As a
So just take
junior,
it. Yeah,
like engineer.
yeah.
Um, interesting. How's the so the Malaysian community there? I'm curious. Like, was there a community? Like, in London, right? We have our. So
Mm,
yeah, another
yeah,
interesting fact, listeners, is that we are all Mohan and myself are and Khairul. We all met in this Malaysia Association for Postgrads and Working Professionals called MAPP in
yeah.
London.
I'll
So
check it
is
out.
there like a MAPP in Doha? Sort of
Yeah,
MAPP. Yeah.
in Doha they call it Malaysian Association in Qatar. So there
Ah.
is like similar as well, but a lot of it, because people in Doha are just like more professional and more senior. I think when I
Oh.
was there, I'm the youngest, I think. So I was
Oh.
like everyone else are like 40 above, like good experience when they go there.
Oh.
So I was like,
Okay.
there's a gap between me and them. So kind of like just sit there and then learn from them. I mean, you meet these big shots from like Malaysians, big shots,
Hmm.
like CEO of like Malaysian airports, uh, Qatar investment directors, something like that. So it's just so many, um, I mean, people that have achieved it, like
Mm-hmm.
that people that have make it, and
Hmm.
and they are quite they're quite good. Yeah, I mean we are closely tight knit,
Hmm.
and I mean in Malaysia Association Qatar as well. Like there's people who play golf, people who play bicycle, people who there's sort of like these small subgroups. So I'm part of
Yeah.
the subgroup of like playing golf. So we
Oh.
just spend every weekend on the golf
Okay.
course, playing golf all day long every weekend. So and
Okay. So they're
the fun
nice.
part is like I didn't know how to play golf, and
Okay.
when I follow them, and then they gave me like, okay, you just go, and then I have this membership. You can just play. They gave me a set, a golf set,
Mm-hmm.
and teach me how to play it, and yeah, that's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, they kind of like groom me to be the next. Maybe they want me to play with them. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So you did do another outdoor activity,
yeah,
play golf.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There
Play
we
golf.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. So I would. From what I'm hearing, it's a little bit different from our like MAPP in London, because I feel like
Different.
people
Yeah.
here, so a lot of us are like students, people of our age,
Kind of like the
you know,
same. Like
yeah, kind of the same stage of life. But here you're mixing with people who are all older than
yeah.
yourself. So does that mean that most of them there are there for like work? Because like for example, like in London, like our MEPP group, some people are actually staying here, like they actually want to live here. But
Yeah.
for this MEPP of Qatar, our MEPP of Qatar, so like are people there just for like pure work reasons? They have no intention at all to like just to live there, or
Yeah, I
is
think
it more like mm,
it's mostly like 99% just working there, and
mm,
I don't think they don't have this route of like becoming PR as well, right? So in the UK you can
oh,
spend 5 years and then you get a PR, but in Qatar it's
oh,
kind of
hmm,
the same back home as well. No, yeah,
oh,
some
okay,
people get PR, some people don't get PR, so there's no
mm-hmm,
clear like that. But most of people
oh,
just working there, and I've seen
mm-hmm,
past few years people left Doha, people who have
mm,
been there for like 10 years. When the
mm-hmm.
company shift them, they shift.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So it's rare for people there to like want to become a PR. And you said the PR, the path to PR is very difficult.
I
So
think so. Yeah, I haven't heard like someone who had a PR in Doha.
oh, like
Yeah,
an international person getting a PR, you've
I mean
never
at
heard.
least I don't hear it. Yeah, at least I think so. I think
Okay.
they must be, but I even at least Malaysians like I
Mm-hmm.
never heard of that. Yeah,
Okay, I'm curious to get your opinion about something, right? Because I recently heard, like, from a lot of my circle of, at least my classmates, a lot of people are telling me that there's a lot of growing opportunities in the Middle East, right? People
yeah,
talk about going to Qatar, going to Doha, going to Dubai. right? Because and not the opportunity in oil and gas, right? Oil and gas, of course, is one lah, but like there's also those who work in like tech and like different industries. Like, do you think do you think that's a grace? Do you agree that there's like a lot of opportunity uh there compared to maybe
compared
other
to
places? Like,
other
I don't
regions.
know.
I
Yeah.
think I think so because even though I'm
Mm-hmm.
in London, I'm currently attached to the Dubai team. So my boss are in Dubai.
Uh-huh.
I was stationed here in London, but my
Mm-hmm.
boss and my superiors are in Dubai, and most of my projects that I'm involved right now is in Dubai and
Mm.
Qatar.
Mm. Mm.
So I believe
Is the money good?
money is okay. I think so. Better
Okay.
than
All right.
better than
Okay.
the UK, I guess. Better than the
Okay.
UK.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of places that are better than the UK, but
Yeah. I think because of the tax, like they don't tax people, right? Like the money that
right.
you
Yeah.
get is yours.
Mm.
Like
Mm.
you don't have to fork up like 30% to pay tax, like 25% to pay tax, like
Mm.
blah 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 blah. And then you end
Oh.
up like yeah. So there's no tax. The housing are kind of similar to the UK. So
Mm.
if you don't have tax and then the housing is not that bad, so kind of
Mm.
similar. I think it's good.
When you think so if they don't collect tax, right, then what does the government
So I
how does the
think they
government earn their
they
revenue?
I think they tax the businesses.
Oh, okay.
They tax
They
the
tax.
businesses, and I
Mm.
think there is VAT already now for like
Mm.
service like restaurant and stuff. I'm not really sure
Mm.
about that. But
Mm.
there's no tax for like personal individual employees.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, that's really interesting. Do you feel like Dubai is like oh no Dubai, but like just like in the Middle East in general, like, which covers all these cities that we
Yeah.
kind of talked about just now, right? Are they like actively like trying to attract internationals? Do you get that sense? Like, or is it more like
So,
just
I think so
like when
because
hmm,
they don't have the talent force.
mm,
Like I don't
mm,
think they have talents, but it's not enough. They need people all over the world, the best talent that they can have, and then they can pay for it. So
mm,
the, like what Qatar did last time, like they
mm,
poached a large number of Petronas people to join Qatar Energy. Like then was what Qatar Gas or
mm,
Qatar
okay.
Petroleum, now
Mm,
becoming Qatar Energy. So
mm,
I mean they need more people definitely. I have friend that in Riyadh now, in Doha.
mm,
There's just like because they are giving the perks are quite good, and then
mm.
why not? Like now, I think the next place is Riyadh. Though. Riyadh is moving next.
Riyadh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Riyadh is close
Saudi.
to Saudi.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Why Riyadh? Why do you say Riyadh? Because
So
yeah.
this Riyadh have in Saudi have this vision 2030, right, where they invest so much on construction. So the next
Mm,
boom in Middle East. So last time we saw a construction boom in Qatar, and then in
mm,
Dubai.
mm-hmm.
Next place is Saudi. Like
Let's say Saudi.
they're building like these huge mega projects, which is, I mean, you have to see like one of the project called the line.
The line.
The line, yeah, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like they kind of want to put everything. Imagine like a city, but
Mm-hmm.
it is in one building, like a
Mm.
rectangle across like 4
Oh,
kilometers, something like that.
okay,
So
okay. And so this is like just pure construction for a city. This is not oil and gas construction.
not oil and gas
Okay.
construction. Yeah, so I
Okay.
think Saudi is moving from oil and gas to tourism, and they're opening their other economic sector because they want to reduce their reliance on oil and gas.
Hmm.
That's the reason why.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. That explains a lot. Wasn't the COP 28 the Aramco?
yeah,
He was the okay. Yeah. That's not maybe that's for another podcast. But yes, Aramco is from Saudi, right? Am I right? So we just
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Saudi.
Yes. Yeah. For listeners who don't know, Aramco is like is it National Oil and Gas
Kind of
company? You know.
similar to Petronas. Yeah,
Yeah, similar to
for Saudi.
Petronas, but for Saudi. Yeah, yeah. I know this a little bit because yeah, in I in my past profession we also did work with Petronas and all that
Mm,
stuff. But yes, oh okay. So that's very interesting. Okay. Just maybe just to like do sort of like a reflection, right? During that 2 years that you spent in like that's probably you spend the most time there. in like in Doha, right? What do you
Yep.
think was your biggest like takeaway or reflection? And do you like being there? Like,
Oh,
like
that's a
yeah.
tough one. Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when I was there,
Mm,
I was still juggling like how the
mm,
life balance and kind of like the stressfulness at the site. So
mm-hmm.
I kind of like mix up my personal life and work life.
Oh,
So
what do you
so
mean? Mm-hmm.
so I don't have this separation of like work is work,
Oh, okay, okay.
personal is
Mm,
personal. I kind of like mix together because I think I'm
mm,
too consumed by it. I was just like every time it's just work, work, work. Um,
mm,
so and then I realized that um, actually it's not good. Like Arisa,
mm,
my wife, uh,
mm-hmm.
she kind of realized as well, like the way I talk to her because at the side we
Mm,
are kind of like aggressive, no, like because
mm,
I don't know it's whether it's the right way or not, like but you're kind of like very aggressive at the side. You're kind of um a bit harsh at the side. So even
mm,
when I talk to her, I was being a bit
mm,
like harsh. So I was thinking,
mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I need to do some adjustment here and there to just like keep work at work and
Mm,
yeah, trying to be a better person because at the end of the day it's just
mm,
not work, right? It's
yeah.
I think personal life are important as well.
Mm.
Important too,
Oh,
yeah.
so just curious, you were already married when you moved to Doha, or
No,
that you
no.
guys were just like dating at
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stage?
yeah,
Okay, you
yeah,
guys were still dating at that stage.
yeah,
Okay, okay. I see, I got it. Oh yeah, that must be tough. Long distance relationships are,
yeah.
yeah, I guess you learn a lot from them. Not that I've been in one. But okay. Okay, okay. Sorry. You keep your story, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Yeah, anything else you like feel like besides like learning to balance work
Mm.
life? Anything about like maybe like do you like being in that country and what you took away from
I
Doha
think
itself,
I think
Mhm.
I like being in the country, even though it's a
Mhm.
bit. I think uh, I can work there. I mean, the people there are nice, but the thing is, it
Mhm.
depends on um the company that you work in. If the
Mm.
company give you
Yeah.
opportunity to grow, then you can stay.
Mm.
For me. I've been like few countries already.
Mm.
It's not about like the country. It's all about how the journey kind of like aligns with yours, like what you want.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so because when I'm there, I didn't see myself um going to the next stage. Like I don't see myself even.
Mm.
It's kind of
Okay.
hard. It's kind of hard for junior people
To like progress
because
the
to
career.
progress because everyone is
Mhm.
like more experienced than you, uh,
Mm.
and there's no clear path. There's no structure
Mm.
on how to get
Mhm.
there. So I was like, okay, but I think it depends on the company. If given like a company that is okay, that is good, I might,
Mm.
yeah, I
You
might
might
consider moving back.
consider moving there,
Yeah,
bring Arisa
moving
with
back.
you. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. I gotta ask this question. I gotta ask you this question because you say you played golf, right? And there are a lot of like powerful, very powerful people there. Who is the most like how to say like the most like atas person that you played
Oh,
golf with
most
when
atas
you were
person.
there?
Oh, and I mean everyone is kind of at that level already. If you're playing golf with like the CEOs, I mean, it's not only me, his friend. No, it's just like I mean, he wouldn't play with me. He was just playing with his other friend as well, which is the same
Okay,
level as him. And then I'm just
okay,
there, sitting there, and then like trying to play as well. But yeah.
okay.
So
Did you like get his number or like
I
ask
mean, of
him to
course,
like next time I can help you carry your golf club? I was like, okay, never mind,
yeah.
never mind.
I think they are even though they are like high level people, they are really humble, and
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm.
they kind of like um I mean, they've been through this. They have more experience, so they
Mm.
kind of give you like what they have been through, what they've gone through, and they keep contact with me. Like every time they are in London, we meet. Every time I
Oh,
go to Doha, we have a dinner. So I
oh,
mean,
okay.
we are quite close. Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
the society there. That's why I say like the subgroup
Mm-hmm.
are quite
Subgroups are very
close.
close knit.
Yeah,
Mm.
subgroup are very close knit. I don't know like every other people in the Malaysia society. Malaysian society in Qatar, but
Mm.
this subgroup of like golf,
Golf players.
golf
Mm-hmm.
players. I'm like really close to him because my boss in my
Mm-hmm.
previous company play golf, so I follow him, and then I
Mm-hmm.
kind of joined into his group.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I met all these
All
wonderful
these,
people.
what are these
Yeah,
amazing and powerful people, great
yeah,
connections,
yeah.
and to have network with. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, next time, yeah. If I go to Doha, I need to ask you, who is it that I need to meet,
Uh,
and you can, yeah,
Actually,
increase my network.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of I mean, successful people, Malaysian successful people in Doha. Yeah,
Oh, like business, like people in like business, like businessmen, or
like
just like
corporate wise, like
corporate.
like directors, CEOs.
Oh, what are they doing there? Like, are they there for work, or are they just like going there to
Yeah.
meet some other powerful people there?
Like for example, there's a CEO for Malaysia Airport. Like he's in charge for the Malaysia Airport Berhad in the
Mm-hmm.
Middle East. So he
Mm-hmm.
covers like
Oh,
the
okay.
MEA region, and then there's
Mm.
Qatar Energy. Um,
Mm.
I mean, engineers that is like
Mm.
top level in Qatar Energy. There's a
Mm-hmm.
there's so many interesting people. Like to name one, I'm not
Mm.
doing any justice to them. So
Okay, all right, but still, yeah, it's amazing how, as a junior person back there, right? Because it's like your first job, you get
yeah,
to like meet all these people, and actually that's why I really, personally right now, like I feel like in London right now, maybe I mentioned this before in previous episodes or whatnot, but I think one thing that I find very interesting being in London is the opportunity to meet like some like really like some ministers or
yeah,
some CEO or some Malaysian GLC company coming here, and you're never gonna see them if you're in the US. But I got a chance to see them here, and that really really helps inspire
yeah.
junior people like myself. Yeah.
It, I think because they saw me as like a kid who is like in the jungle doesn't know where to go.
Okay.
I mean, that is like a metaphor. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're just being nice. Like there's some
I'm sure.
kids I'm
Mm-hmm.
like the age of their sons maybe. So
Yeah.
they like, okay, this just bring him, and then rather than like letting this guy go and he doing like like some
Stupid, like do
yeah
stupid things, right?
stupid
Let's
things,
take
like
care of
just
him.
take care of
Yeah.
him, play
Yeah.
some golf, yeah, and you have dinner. I think that's like really good thing to do. Like bringing some, because I have like huge gap, like age gap, right? Like with them,
Mm,
like they treat me like a friend. Yeah,
mm, mm.
like you can
Wow.
feel that uh, they're taking care of you, kind of like
Mm,
because I'm like a junior there. I'm like a junior
mm.
there. So if they eat at the hotel, I don't have money to pay like every time, so they kind of like, okay, I'll pay for you this time, so the next time, like few times after that, then I'll pay one time. So
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think I gotta try to work for a company that's gonna send their people to like the Middle East, because it seems like you get to like you get great connections, you
uh,
get paid, you live in a villa. Oh my goodness, like a very
uh
very like
but that is
I don't.
the villa is just like I have a roommate, like it's not one bedroom. I have a
Oh,
and
but still,
sleep.
it's
Yeah,
a beautiful villa that's like yeah,
yeah,
who
it's
gets
alright.
the yeah, the great way to start a first career, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool. I think that's a lot of interesting facts we've covered about your life in the Middle East, right? Maybe let's move a little bit to your time in London, right? Because you went to London, so then after that you got a chance to go back to like Middle East again, right? So I'm gonna at the end I'm gonna ask you like to compare the two, but never mind. It's okay. Let's talk
yeah,
about like going back to do a master's, right? You decide, okay, you kind of decided that you wanted to do a master's overseas now. But
mm,
how did you know it was the right time after 2 years to go back to study? Like you could have gone like, I don't know, after five
yeah.
years or something, but yeah.
So before I got an offer to work in Doha, I was
Mm.
already applying to do my masters as well. So
Oh,
I
okay.
already got after, because I was talking to you like when I start my foundation, I know that I want to do a masters in overseas.
Mm,
So
mm,
after I finished my graduation, I was applying
mm,
at
mm,
Manchester and UCL as well. and I got a
Mm.
placement. Got a placement at Manchester
Mm.
and UCL,
Mm.
and I got a scholarship as well. But
Oh,
then,
okay.
but
Mm.
then, I was getting this job offer from Doha. So I
Mm.
was like,
Okay.
whether I have, whether I proceed to go to my doing my masters or go to Doha. So I decided at that time I was okay. I'll spend some time getting more experience on hands, like
Mm. Mm.
doing hands-on works. So after that, I did. So I was deciding to like get more experience, and then after that, I was in my mind I still have to do my masters. So the
Mm-hmm.
next question is why that course, something like that,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Why did you study construction economics, right?
yeah, I studied
Mm-hmm.
construction economics and management. So
Mm.
I did civil engineering back in my undergrad. So
Mm.
it's technical, right? It's all about
Mm.
numbers. Everything is
Mm. Yep.
so
Engineering.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
engineering. So I decided, okay, I need to do something more management and something related to like economics. So I was searching
Mm.
and searching. It's like, oh, there's one course at UCL. Uh,
Mm.
that's how I kind of choose construction economics because I think I have the technical knowledge. Now I
Mm.
need the management and the money side of construction, like
Mm-hmm.
to put it in easy way. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why I took construction economics. I think the similar course like construction economics they offered in UCL. I think one more in Manchester, and there's
Mm-hmm.
one more place. There's not that many.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, UCL sounds good.
Mm. Oh, okay. And this is not so because you got I remember you mentioned that you got admitted. Actually, you got a place and you even got a scholarship before you started work, right?
Mm,
But you didn't end up taking it, so you
yeah,
reapplied, lah, right?
you reapply. I have
You
to
reapplied.
reapply. Yeah,
Okay.
I have to reapply.
And
Do everything
yeah,
all
okay.
over again.
Okay. And did you seek any sponsorship this time, or
I
you can
did.
pay yourself this time? Oh, you
No, no,
did.
no.
Okay.
I did.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did. Okay.
I
Okay.
did. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because it's using the same results as before, right? It's using the
Ah,
same
okay.
bachelor degree result. I just need to,
Right,
and
right.
plus I have more experience, so I just have to put it
Nice.
in my statement. I have got previous scholarship, but I didn't take it because of X, Y,
Yeah.
Z.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so I
And
managed
you
to get it
got
again.
did you get it again, or
Yeah, I
was
did
it?
get it again. Yeah.
Oh, so it was almost fully sponsored then your studies, right?
Uh,
Or not really?
I
Partially.
have to pay back, no? So my scholar is Mara, right? So I have to pay back like
Mm,
15-20%. So Mara
okay.
sponsored me for my bachelor's as well. Bachelor's and then
Mm, okay,
master's.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, right. Oh, so you're okay, I see, got it, got it.
I'm
And
fully Mara
so
scholars.
oh, so you're a Mara scholar from like uni days all the way until now.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay. And how was it like, going back to uh going back to university, right? Now you're moving to London and you've never been to London, right? At that time
Previously. Yeah.
you've never been to London at that point, right?
Yeah.
So how was that transition from like Malaysia, Doha, then suddenly
Uh,
London?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think when I went to boarding school, that's the hardest part where I have to adapt because living in
Mm,
KL and living at home, I think my family is quite
yep.
close as well with each other. So
Mm,
I have
mm,
tough times back in my boarding school times. So that's kind of
mm,
prepared me to the next journey. So when I was in
mm,
Qatar, I was like, okay, I can make it. When I was in London, everything get much more easier because I've been
mm,
passed through all these hurdles. So when
mm,
I was in London, the difference is just like, oh, everyone is just like open. Everyone is doing their stuff. Don't mind. I mean, the thing in London is just like everyone just do their own business. Like we see some weird stuff and then just say it. We didn't say anything, So that's the fun.
Okay. And yeah, I'm interested in that. So you think that okay? What I'm hearing is that you said London was easier because you've been through a lot of like challenges moving
Mm,
so far away from Malaysia and home and everything already, right? But I also heard that you mentioned that everybody's doing their own business.
yeah,
Uh,
in
so you
London.
don't have that close knit golf group already, lah. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't have my golf groups that can bring me to golf and give me free sets.
so, yeah, so how is it different? Like what in London that was like Like, how is it exciting
Uh,
now, and how is it
and
different
I
from
think
like
now it's good because I
Mm-hmm.
have make my own bubbles, make my own friends,
True. Mm-hmm.
MAPV, meet some interesting people. I reside
Mm-hmm.
here already,
Mm-hmm.
so everything is kind of like settled down now. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone is like so amazing in their own fields. Like you, I mean, you did your master's at Imperial. There's a lot of friends who achieve so much
Thank you.
things,
Thank you. Yeah.
right? So
You
everyone have
too.
achieved
Mm-hmm.
something, and then we are in this bubble where we talk about interesting stuff happening in the country because we still care about Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When the first time I was in London, I don't know anyone. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know anyone, and
Mm-hmm.
I was having hard times, like even to find an
Mm.
accommodation because I don't know anyone, and then you need the guarantor as well. I was like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my god! And the UCL accommodation
Mm.
is so expensive. I mean,
Mm.
with Mara gave me, I was after paying if I went to UCL accommodation, I'll be left like £200 every month. I was like, oh,
Mm.
couldn't make it. I mean, I couldn't afford to take this accommodation from UCL, so I was like, I'll
Mm-hmm.
take Airbnb first. After Airbnb,
Oh,
I
you
spent
stayed
like
in an Airbnb.
yeah for like
Okay.
2 weeks, 2 weeks to get
Okay. 2 weeks.
to
All right.
do to
Okay.
do viewings, physical
Okay.
viewings, and at that time it's COVID as well, so it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then I made a friend from UCL, which become a good friend until now. Like
Mm.
the first guy that I met just
Okay.
via Facebook, really, he's Croatian guy.
Okay.
Then we became close until now.
Mm-hmm. Is he Malaysian or no?
Yeah, he's Croatian.
Oh, he's Croatian. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Okay. Okay. So you ended up staying with him, is it?
yeah, I don't
Or
know. Yeah, he become my roommate.
ah,
I
oh,
stay with
right.
one Finnish guy and then one Croatian guy.
Ah, okay. So you didn't stay in a student accommodation, right? You just like ended up renting, like,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Actually, I'm very curious myself. Maybe this is for like our listeners' general knowledge as well, right? Because
yep.
I ended up staying in a student accommodation, so we don't need guarantors for
Mm,
our
yeah.
rent and whatnot, right? But what is the guarantor thing? Like how what what's going
So
on there? Yeah.
when you want to rent a place,
Mm-hmm.
the agency or the landlord wants to know whether you can pay for the rent.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
either they ask you for a guarantor or you pay 6 months upfront. 6 months upfront. At that time, I was like,
That's
oh my
crazy.
god,
Yeah, who's gonna get that money?
yeah, definitely. So I was
Yeah.
like, I don't have anyone here, so how do I do it? So I kind of
Mm.
managed to show my letters, like scholarship letters,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
that I have proof of funding that I'm here to the
Mm.
agency, and then they kind of like assess it, and they say, okay, you can. I mean, it's alright.
Oh.
This we can take this as a guarantor. But the thing is, some agency take
Mm.
it, but some agency doesn't
Don't
take it.
take it. Mm.
So it's just these kind of things that there's no clear cut.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it
So
is.
thankfully,
Yeah, but it
okay.
is a troublesome thing. This
Mm.
guarantor thing, like how can you get a guarantor? Like if
Mm.
you know someone, because the guarantor needs to be a person who live in the UK and he
Mm.
or she is willing enough to endorse you that you're
Mm.
capable of paying the rent, right? So
Mm.
that's a huge
Mm.
thing, like guarantor. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I think that's the weird thing about the UK when it comes to like all this student housing. Like
Yeah.
it's quite funny because I'm pretty sure shouldn't it be like more friendly for students because they're poor, right? Okay, they're poorer,
Yeah.
So if you're a working professional and everything, that this guarantor thing doesn't
Yeah.
happen, right?
It's all right. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, this
yeah,
guarantor
crazy.
thing
Yeah,
doesn't happen because they just see your contract. Like if you
yeah.
have a contract, then it's all right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let me ask you a little bit about the student life, right? Like, since you were working, then you suddenly have to go back to like student life. Like, how was that transition? Like, was it like difficult, or
Uh,
did you like, oh, student life is amazing? Like me, I
I
think student life is amazing. Yeah.
I think from working life, which I said before, is quite
Mm,
intense, and
mm,
jumping into like study times. I think
mm-hmm,
it's a bit hard for me because previously I was it. technical background, right? Engineering. Now I'm
Engineering.
taking
Yep.
construction economics and then management,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
everything is just like so subjective. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
writing. There's no
Mm-hmm.
there is calculation, but every calculation have to be kind of like elaborate, and you have to
Mm.
justify why. There's no clear cut. If like for example engineering is just like A is A, B is B, simple as
Mm-hmm.
that. But for construction economics, it's more about subjective, and depends on which economics principle you want to take, something like that. So it's not clear cut anymore. So I was like, yeah, this is interesting, something new for me at that time,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
previously I was just, I mean, we Malaysians just take it. We
You
usually
just
really
absorb it. You don't ask.
we
Yeah.
usually don't argue. Like, but when I was doing my masters, they kind of like encourage you to like oppose them. Like
Mm.
that's what they want us to do. And I think the first few months, I think just getting my foot like just getting my feet like on the ground. So but
Mm-hmm.
after that, it's kind of okay. Yeah, but even though it's hard, I think it's much more easier than work.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I cannot like agree with that more. Like, is it? Do you feel the same way? Let me tell you how I feel about student life. Is that I don't have to report to a boss. Everything is my own responsibility. If I fail, I
Yeah.
fail. Nobody going to scold me. It's your own fault,
Yes, definitely.
right?
I
Yeah.
think it's the
Mm,
responsibility part, because when
mm,
working, it's not just your your responsibility to yourself, it's your responsibility to others as well, to the firm.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So I think that
mm-hmm.
part is a bit daunting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense. So this masters was like what was like 1 year sort of, right?
one
Like
years, yeah, one
1 years, right? And then after that, you decided to go back to Doha.
yeah,
Uh, why did you go back?
yeah.
How did you? Yeah.
So I couldn't find a job straight away after I was doing my masters. I was searching job in the UK and in Malaysia. So I
Mm,
couldn't find
okay.
both. Like that's I couldn't find like a job in the UK and in Malaysia too. So
Oh.
at that time I was like, okay. So I spent like so we finished our masters like September, right? Finished
Yep.
our masters like September.
Mm-hmm.
And then October, November, I spent maybe 2 months, 1 month plus
Mm-hmm.
working at Melo, like become the
Oh,
first
you
waiter.
were a
Yeah,
waiter at Merlot?
yeah.
Okay.
I was a
Yeah,
waiter
for
at
the
Melo.
listeners, Merlot is a restaurant, a Malaysian restaurant in London. Yeah, that's what we're
Yeah,
talking. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's located at the Edgware Road.
It's
So
very well. Yes,
yeah,
our favorite place. Yes.
so work there, and I was like, in humbling work, and it's a good experience as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I
I'm
think,
sure.
I mean, at that point, I was just like, I need to do something, like I just finished my masters, just finding my way, and suddenly, I got a text or like update from my previous company, like asking people to come back, and then they are
Mm,
searching for people, and then I was like, okay, why not? Because I don't have anything to do, and it's a short term project, because firstly they said it's just for 3 months, 3 4
mm.
months. I was like, okay, 3 4 months sounds good for me. But it ended up to be like 8 months. So
8 months.
yeah, it's just that because I couldn't find a new job, and I think like I don't like to stay still. I need to do
Mm.
something, and then I mean to do something like I
Yeah.
can gain
Or else you
something from
lose
it.
the momentum, right? Like,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Mm,
So
mm,
I just like need to do something that is related to myself, and I can make sense of it.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm.
So that's
And
why.
okay, so technically it's like so technically you basically kind of like went back to that company that you were working with like before you went for your masters, right?
Yeah,
Right, sort of. So technically you got a job with Malaysia, but based in
yeah. Malaysia.
yeah,
Yeah, but in
Malaysia,
Doha.
but based in
Yes,
Doha.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes,
Now
yes.
I'm curious to ask you, like, because you finished your masters, you took 1 year off as a student, then you
Mm,
went back to work for 8 months. Did you
yeah.
feel like you were better at handling things that were happening at work, or
I think so.
did
I
you feel
think
kind of the same?
I think
Mm-hmm.
so. I think it gave you. I think you have that. You take a break, kind of take a
Mm-hmm.
break for a year, and then you go in back to the workforce a bit fresh, and you see stuff. You can relate to how things work. I mean, because the course that I did is construction economics and management as well. So there's a science management. But really, I think the masters give me an idea and how the construction works overall, like in general, like the macro view of the
Mm-hmm.
construction industry. So I kind of like, okay, I understand how things work now better. I mean, previously you just there looking from bottom to top. Now you're looking
Yeah.
from like the macro level, and
More to the bottom.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think you have more idea on how things work.
And that made you feel like what did it still feel as intense and confusing? I
Uh,
guess. Or,
n- at that point, there's not much of a construction project. Like there's
oh,
just
okay.
some like the rectification works. So most of the time, I just dealing with the clients. So it just enhance my PR
Oh,
skill.
okay. So so now you're no longer like the site engineer. You went to like more client facing kind
I
of.
I was a site engineer. There's only me.
Okay.
Like there may be 2 3 people at the site, so we just take
Okay.
turns on like dealing with the clients. So the
Mm,
site is huge, so some people take some
okay.
portion, right? So okay,
Okay.
I'm in charge for section A, for example.
Mm,
So anything happen in section A, any rectification, um physical works, or even glicing with the client, so I'm involved with that.
mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
see. I see. Okay. Okay. And then after you went back to London,
mm, yeah.
so you got a job in the. So you one of your applications worked out to
Yes.
the.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
And
the tip
mhm.
is using your university email.
Why
Yeah,
did you use your university email then? Like why?
I think
What?
because the company that I'm working right now have a partnership with UCL. So if I use UCL
Oh,
email,
okay.
they kind of like, okay, this guy is from UCL instead of like just my
Okay.
Gmail. I think so.
Okay. 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 That makes sense. Okay. And now it's a transition, right? You used to be like a site engineer, then now it's like literally a construction
Yeah,
dispute consultant. It's literally more office type of work, right?
yeah.
Like, and maybe more slightly law related as well. Why did you make that transition? Did you not like being on site or
I think I'm I'm not. I think I'm more comfortable working at the office. I mean, I'm
mm,
a person. I'm like a book person. I like to look at the numbers and look
okay, you
into the
like to do
details.
the Excel.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like to do the Excel and do the planning, do the programming. Not so much of like going to the site and like scream at people and ask them to do something. I feel it. I kind of feel. I kind of feel tired doing that. So I was like,
Okay.
okay, I feel I need to do something that I can improve myself. I mean, the thing that I'm doing right now kind of related with construction project as well. So we
Yep.
analyze project that have hiccups,
Mm-hmm.
that delays. So I can learn from why they are
Mm-hmm.
delays, what causing the delay, how much is the delay for every section. So I kind of like give an idea to myself if I went back to the site after this. Okay, this is the risk that we need to
Mm.
take. So this is the kind of like, okay, consulting industry, I just gonna take all the information, and then yeah, we'll see how things pan out in the future. But now I think the reason why I'm interested in this field is because um it gives me an idea of how risks are being managed.
And that kind of it's like a full circle learning lah, almost,
Yes,
right? You started
yes,
off not being on the ground, you just do things and then people shout at you and you just do, right? Then you came back, you got some management point of view, you could see like the top to
yeah,
the bottom. Then now you're like you're the consultant inside the office, like literally even higher up maybe, right?
yeah,
Like in
yeah.
the in like in terms of overview of the
Because
whole.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we are the independent. I mean, we are called expert. Is
Mm-hmm.
expert expert witness. So we have to kind of do the analysis,
Mm-hmm.
independent analysis. So we don't take a side. We don't take a side,
Mm-hmm.
even though we have clients, right? Maybe the clients or maybe the contractor itself, but we are independent because the reason is we need to provide to the tribunal. If the tribunal find our report being partial, then they will just and then our reputation will be so bad, and they will just
Yeah, your
like
reputation will, yep.
they will
You're like,
just
you
like
are not. You
yeah,
guys are biased.
they'll
Yeah.
just dismiss our report, and from there, our reputation will just go
Mm,
down. So
mm,
that's the reason
mm,
why we have to be independent, and then we are being
mm.
cross-examined by the best lawyers in the world as well. So
Yep.
that is not
Mm-hmm.
easy.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask something about like, because all of your most of your career has always been like maybe even your current career you are doing it like in London, right? Would things have been different if you did it in Malaysia? Let's say you went through this whole career
Uh,
progression in Malaysia, right? Like versus your progression as you
so
go through to Doha, then
yeah,
go to London.
I forgot
Like, would you?
to
Mm,
tell before, like
mm-hmm,
even during my study times, I've did part-time
mm.
works at the Malaysian consultancy firm. So
Oh,
during my
wow.
part time, during my study times, so in
Uh-huh.
GP we have 4 months break. So
Uh-huh.
I'll take 1 month break, and then 3 months I was working in a consultancy firm doing design.
Okay,
Uh,
you were an intern. That was an
was an
internship,
pre
right?
pre
Okay.
intern kind of, yeah,
Pre-intern kind of thing.
yeah,
Okay.
before
Mm-hmm.
intern, like
Mm-hmm.
so I was already like exposed to the real world of like construction industry or like consultancy from really
Mm-hmm.
early stage. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I kind of feel it really depends, like how the firm works, right? I mean, it's not fair to judge uh,
Mm,
whether if I have a career path in Malaysia,
mm,
how it's gonna be is hypothetical. So
mm.
I feel that
Okay.
if I were to be in a good company, I think it's gonna be quite good as well. I think
Mm,
depends. I think it depends on the firm that you work for. It really
okay.
depends. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. No, that's a very fair point. Because like at the end of the day, like it really is all dependent on the company, the people that you meet, right? And
definitely.
the kind of sometimes it's really just based on off of luck. But I guess what's the pros of you of being able to work overseas? If you were to reflect upon yourself and versus maybe some of your peers and your
Mm.
friends back home, right? What do you think is some benefit that you got, or maybe even some disadvantages? What do you think?
Career
Like
wise.
career wise, personal also lah, also can lah. Personal and career also can. Yeah, yeah, both. Yeah.
Yeah, I think um in general I feel like because you meet more people and then there's so much culture different. When I work in
Mm,
Doha, the culture is different. In London, the culture is different. So having know that, I kind of have the idea of okay, these people like every person have different kind of worldview. Like okay,
mm-hmm.
kelas kejap.
Oh, worldview kelas sekolah. Okay. Oh my god, I think I need to tag kelas sekolah in this
Yeah.
using your terms. Okay.
So
Worldview. Yes, everybody got
everyone
different
have their
worldview.
worldview. So Arabs have different worldview. Irish people have different worldview. So kind of when people say something, I kind of know like okay, this is because of this thing. It's not because they are like they are bad or they are good or something. It's just how they have been raised and how they look, uh,
Mm-hmm.
how their perspective in this world.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get that feeling. And career wise, I think the good thing is you involve in like multinational mega project in this world. I mean, the project that I'm involved in Dubai is like one of the largest in the world, like big
Mm,
mega project and stuff. I think that is the advantages. I think
mm-hmm.
the disadvantages is that in Malaysia, the industry for this kind of sector is not that big. So there's a
Right.
issue if I decide to go back, then
Mm, mm,
um what I'm gonna do. So that's his kind of it's either you
mm.
make the ecosystem or you find the ecosystem, right? So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
not really sure.
Okay. Okay. You said you're planning to go back, right? Like that's a
Yeah,
kind of like a goal, or not really?
I mean in the future, yeah, that's the plan.
Okay, in the
But I
future.
mean they not really set like how many years. It just
Hmm.
depends on how things are. That's different. Like depends on the circumstances.
Yep, yep, definitely, definitely. Cool, interesting. I just want to get before we close this section about like career and your time in London and then doing your current job and everything. I just wanted to like get some of your thoughts on your aspirations like your future, or not your future, maybe in near future, what do you aspire to do
Mm.
in your in London? I guess.
Uh,
Oh, now it's London. Okay, yeah. Like
so
you can be career perspective, can be personal. Yeah,
mm,
like
I
mhm.
think currently just trying to still kind of grab like what I'm doing right now, because it's just
Okay.
because I'm from
Mm-hmm.
site and then go to the office and then doing some analysis which is very very niche, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
currently in a course as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
my company sent me to training to do like some this construction dispute courses as well. This year I have to finish it, so it's
Mm-hmm.
continuous learning as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that thing I need to kind of like manage my work life balance and stuff.
Again, yep,
Yeah.
balancing out. Okay.
Um.
Mm-hmm.
So last year I did well. So the aspiration this year is
Let's say you got promoted. Yes.
yeah, to become more persevere and consistent in like doing stuff. I think
Okay.
that's the
Okay.
aspiration.
Okay.
Not too detailed, but yeah. I think
Mm-hmm. No.
I have
Mm-hmm.
at the stage I have like at the stage like um you kind of have set what the idea of what you want to be and what you're gonna achieve, and don't become so rigid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And all this for now it's going to happen in London for now lah. Yep.
yeah. For now, I think at least until my wife finish her PhD.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah,
for listeners, yes, we are all friends here in
yeah.
London. And Khairul's wife Arisa is doing a PhD in chemistry at UCL as well, right? Both of you
Yeah.
are gonna be UCL alumni. Nice. I was going to ask you, like, what about like 'cause I know you're really active in MAPP and all
Mm,
things Malaysia related in London, right? Any
yeah,
aspirations from that perspective? Um,
I
not
think
necessarily what you want to do in MAPP, I'm not your
yeah,
president, so
yeah,
yeah, but
yeah. I
yeah,
think
get it. Yeah.
we as a Malaysian
Mm,
in London that involved in MIPP, all we want to
mm-hmm,
do is, I mean, we still care about our country. I mean, like myself,
mm-hmm,
then like I want to be back home if I have the opportunity, but at this stage is, I mean, not yet. The
mm-hmm,
opportunity is not there yet.
mm,
Uh, I mean, we just want to give back to the society and what we
mm,
want. We care about our country. I mean, some people
mm,
think that okay, tomorrow I'll give you a scholarship and then you decide
mm,
not to come back. I mean, you
mm,
kind of like traitor or something. I think you have to view it in different way. I mean, life is not that simple. You have to look into people perspective and how do they get there. Like I myself, we are from middle class family, so um, we are like far away to be where we are at. So it's kind of hard to just let go. I think there's so many opportunities here that we can learn from, and then go back and add more value to the country. And I think
mm-hmm,
what we as Malaysian here can aspire to be is just do our bits here in what capacity that we have and contribute to Malaysia. And
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
what I can get from like all VIPs that come to the UK. I think everyone have good intention of like seeing Malaysia become better and going into the right direction. I think, but sometimes we feel like okay, Malaysia is not going into the right way. But I think when I meet all the politicians, meet the VIPs, I think they have naturally they have like good intention, but who am I to tell? But yeah,
yeah. I think from yeah, I think I totally agree with you, right? Like I think, to be honest, I think even if you're overseas, there are a lot of ways to be contributing back home as well. I like to see it as, at least for myself, it's like I come here to kind of like expose myself and train myself for the future of when I go back to Malaysia, right? Because same thing, like I think we both share one thing similar, is that we all see that we will end up in Malaysia,
mm,
right? Like maybe for me it's a little bit sooner than you,
mm.
right?
I thought you're gonna
But
stay here, but yeah,
uh,
going back.
I think at this point it's not a secret anymore that I'm going back. Like, so I already like, I already like I already like bought the ticket. I already told people, yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in like September. So but yeah, I think even when you're overseas, having like even here, right? I like a lot of those like intellectual, not intellectual, but more like Malaysians coming together to like discuss like issues in Malaysia. Right? I think that is
Yeah.
actually a way to contribute as well because you get people thinking about what's going on back home, right? And maybe so someday if they ever go back, right, they are in touch with what's happening, right, and then they have a kind of like a an idea of how they would like to contribute. So I think like you guys, and that's why I always hang out with you guys every
Yeah.
for listeners' benefit. I think that's interesting. I carry out that's very interesting. Like I never thought about politics as much as I do until I come here
No.
with you guys because of Kelas Sekejap. I'm so thankful because actually maybe it's all in my head, but I just don't talk about it with my
Yeah.
friends, my circle of friends, and we talk about something else. But you guys are the one who like spark the interest in my
Right.
head, like,
I think it depends on some people. All people have different interests, right? Some
yeah,
people have
exactly.
this interest in politics a bit more than other
Yeah.
people. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But for me at least, I'm so glad I met you guys, and it just like
Yeah.
like does that spark just think in my head, kind of like, and we but yeah, so we're arriving almost at the last part of this episode, and we've talked about some really interesting things, and I've learned a lot of interesting things about the Middle East. Like one thing I just can't forget right now is catching crabs and playing golf. That's really for me at least, but our listeners might take away something really different as well. So, but a last question, and this is actually Mohan's favorite ending question. He's not here to ask, so I'm going to ask for him, lah. Okay. Wait, I need to pull up the question because it was formed by Mohan, so I don't really even remember the question. But yes, okay, I got it. So, how has being overseas shaped your perspective as a Malaysian?
As a Malaysian,
Yeah.
I think when I went to overseas, and then
Mm-hmm.
I've been to few countries and worked there as well, and talked to many people around the world. I think when I was in Malaysia, I feel like the media plays a role in this as well, or at least social media. We feel that our country maybe not the best in the world. Of course, there's a lot more things to do in Malaysia. There's much more like governance reforms that need to be done, and there's much more potential that need to be tapped in Malaysia. But at the same time, I feel like okay, Malaysia is not too bad. Malaysia is not too bad. Like at least we are going into the right direction, and people are at least looking forward to become better every time. When you talk to other people, and every country have different issues as well, because when I was in Malaysia, we are like our own Malaysia. Everything is just like Malaysia based issues, right? So when we talk to other people across the world, and then I feel like okay, Malaysia is not too bad.
Yeah. So that's why now you put Malaysia in your life plan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I feel the same way actually. Like after like you said, right, that you talk to other people from, I think the value of being overseas is you actually get to talk to people from other countries
All over the
and
world, yeah.
get to
Especially London.
all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially London because it's an international city, right?
Yeah.
And you realize that Malaysia actually we're kind of like we're slow, but we're kind of getting there, because they're like like there are other places in the world that can be worse, and we are doing pretty decently well. So
Yeah.
we're not perfect, of course, and there's 200,000 things that we need to work on, but yeah. So do you feel prouder as a Malaysian now? Just
I'm always
like
proud.
okay,
I'm always proud to be
you're
Malaysian,
always proud. Okay.
but I feel like um, Malaysia can achieve so much more. That's how I feel it. Like Malaysia can achieve so much more. It's just that it's getting there. Hopefully.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I think actually that's all the questions. I think this
Thank
session
you,
was
Adrian.
jam packed with like really interesting things. I got to know you better as well. I think like there are things like that I never asked you before. that, for example, I really didn't know you actually went back to like Doha for a while,
Well,
or that you worked at Malor.
yeah, I'm doing all this stuff.
Malor, I will be imagining you like as a waiter. So I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay. But yeah, do you like want to ask me anything? Like just in case, like it can be anything under the sky, or you're like, nah, AJ, we've talked quite enough, you know.
No, I'm like, I mean, thank you for inviting me
Mm,
to be on your podcast. I mean, it's really interesting to talk about this. I think
mhm,
thank you for having this platform so Malaysia can share
mhm.
to
Aw,
other
thanks.
Malaysians. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, why are we doing this? We're doing this
Yeah,
to, I mean, not teach, just sharing knowledge.
share. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
sharing kind of
sharing
platform.
knowledge to other Malaysians or other younger people, even though we are not that old.
Mhm.
Younger
That
people,
oh.
and how to manage stuff if they are in the same position as well.
Mm,
I mean,
mhm, mhm.
working
Yep, yep.
overseas are not that flowery, wonderful rainbow kind of things that
Mm,
you uh, you think you will that you will experience. But in
mhm.
that wonderful, colorful rainbow and stuff, there's some storms.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep, yep. Wow, you put it very, you put it very beautifully, very good analogy. And but most importantly, Khairul, you cannot forget, we are here because you're trying to live our dream of podcasting, right?
yeah,
We
yeah,
understand. We obviously are not gonna ever get invited to Keluar Sekejap or the latest
yeah.
very famous
Are
policy
we
based kind of
okay?
podcast. Are we okay by ourselves or
Yeah,
Hokkien Mee? But you know, we can still make it happen on our own. So here we are
that's
living
right.
that dream. So
Contribute in our capacity.
in our capacity, that's right.
Yeah,
So I think that's it. Like for today, thank you so much to all our listeners. If you're listening to this and you listen all the way to the end, thank you so much. You know, like as always, and we hope you learned something about the working in the Middle East, especially because I think it's you don't always see a lot of Malaysians going to the Middle East, and Kari was one example of somebody who did. So we hope you learned something, and we will catch you soon again in the next episode with more interesting guests. Um, Hopefully somebody who's going to open your minds about traveling across the world. So I'm not going to review who that is yet, but or besides that, wishing everybody all the best with their weeks and their work, and we will see you next time. Okay.
right. Bye.